All right, guys, welcome in, welcome back to Above Ground World News, where we take a look at the weather. We try to back up everything we say with scientific evidence. We should go through all the maps and give you the truth. And the truth is, the weather meteorologists, all the ones on the mainstream, they have no clue what the hell is going on. So we're going to try to break this down. I'm going to show you something that they will never show you. They're lying about so many things. Yeah, and I want to try to get this start. Yeah, thanks out there. I see Bacon Smill, or I don't know how to pronounce your name. Yeah, thanks for High Impact sending some people over here. Much love. He's a great channel over there. Also, Never Lose Truth. I haven't got to watch anybody's videos. I haven't watched any mainstream today. In fact, I haven't watched anything today. I've jumped on these maps just about an hour ago, kind of going over this stuff. I didn't want to be influenced by the mainstream media. I did bring up a couple of their articles here. Before we jump into all this information I'm going to give you, I'm going to be giving you guys facts and the true wind speeds and things like that. Now, Sunday night we did the forecast, all the models, all the atmospheric conditions. We're not going to show any kind of tropical storm development. And then the mainstream agreed with us. Monday night, Tuesday night, it's like they watched the show. And then suddenly, Tuesday morning, all their videos were deleted, talking about how there was going to be no development. Then all of a sudden we have a major hurricane that popped up out of nowhere, even though the atmospheric conditions were not favorable for any kind of cyclone development. Before we get into this crazy information, I just want to show you a few things. Let me get back to there for a minute. We got hit by one of the most craziest rain bombs again here in Missouri. Now, on my way to work this morning, the highways were underwater. I got some footage here I want to show you. And I don't think nobody's talked about this at all on the mainstream. We got damage everywhere. Hell, but insane flooding rain. I mean, look at this stuff here. This is how the whole place was. Now, I didn't look to see how many inches of rain we got, but it was, probably 6 or 7 inches in like 30 minutes. And then it rained all day. Has anybody even heard about this storm at all? I mean, it's some crazy stuff. I did have some other, that's good there. We'll just jump out of here. Just wanted to get that on there. I just got a couple articles we're going to hit because this could affect these storms. Now, we also have solar issues coming in where the northern lights are going to be, I don't really want to play this. I just want to forward it where it shows the graph. And we may not be able to get to it there, but we're looking at the line of visibility from the auroras coming all the way down into Missouri. So this is going to be some crazy stuff. So the max Sunday night KP index value of 6. So this is a big deal. And we also know that the ionosphere has been tampered with over Antarctica. We went over that last night. There's a rapid heating event. Last night we went over how the polar vortex that happened over the winter, we watched that thing get purposely heated over in the Russia area, blew the polar vortex over the United States. It went too far, went to Europe, and they fired up their weather machine from the other side and pushed it right back over. It stayed over the United States for well over a month. Now, we also have fires going on in these zones where all the aerosols have been deployed. Up in, where the hell is this? I forgot where this was. Up in Utah. So where all the aerosols were deployed, they were laying accelerants down. They're saying they're trying to find 2 people that started the fires. But is that the same two people that started the Paradise Fires? I don't know, or the Camp Fires, or any of them fires. Also, over the Chinese-owned Ramu nickel plant spills 200,000 liters of toxic slurry into the sea, into the Bay of Papua New Guinea. So the spilled material is very toxic, rich in heavy metals. But they say there's no immediate safety concerns. I think I have to beg to differ. How about all the aquatic life, and then the people that will be fishing and then eating the fish is going to be a major issue. Now, like I said, I didn't watch any mainstream, but I can just tell by the headlines. Look at this. Florida urged to plan for 7 days without power. They shouldn't even be calling this storm a hurricane, because that's not what it is. Let me get out of here before it fires up. Also, they're saying that it could impact the whole entirety of Florida as a monster storm. You know, FEMA was already there. You have a military exercise over here. And these things are all symbolic. Go back to 1935, the Labor Day hurricane was the most intense Atlantic hurricane to make landfall on record in terms of both pressure, wind speed. Also the intense Atlantic hurricane on record until Hurricane Gilbert in 1988. They had 485 fatalities, the highest wind speed, 183 miles an hour. That is insane. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because just like the Barry, we found out that was actually a ritual. It wasn't even a hurricane because it started in Tennessee and it looped down and around and then back up. It never went into the tropicals. They were calling it a tropical storm. It formed over the Midwest. You know, they're all liars. Hey, thanks out there. Yeah, they're definitely killing the planet. You know, it's all part of the New World Order. But let's jump into this because this is crazy information. Now, if you're new here, you didn't probably see this, but last week we had this crazy anomaly out here next to the Galapagos Islands. And let me take this up one day. This thing formed out of nowhere. This is the sea surface temperatures. Look, it's a solid purple beam, you know, super hot temperatures here. Let's see what the temperatures were. 90.4 degrees. And it even showed up on the anomalies, the oceanic anomalies. I'll take that back. I mean, this thing just stayed there for a couple days. It never moved. But what I wanted to show you here, let me get back on these sea surface temperatures. And when you take a look at this thing, it's the exact same size as this thing. It's the exact same size as Hurricane Dorian. And Dorian is like a super small hurricane. So this was a test to create this. And then we're going to show you way more signs and signatures. You know, I've showed you the dust here. This thing, there should have been no way for this thing to form. But yet it formed. It baffled the mainstream media. Now they're coming up with all kinds of ways to cover the lies. Now they keep talking about all these winds. You know, they're calling it a Cat 4 right now. But when I go to the data, when I come over here to the data, first, hey, let's go look right here. Let's see what the wind speeds are right now. Let me get this on the winds and all that stuff. Make sure we're on that. Oh, see these? See these right here? These signatures? This thing is being hit with frequencies. And it's creating these little outflows in the upper level. This is in the ionosphere. This is up above the stratosphere. These are not normal. I mean, this is just crazy. And while I'm here, I might as well show you that we have we got all kinds of events going on. But right here, see these winds. These are the winds way up above the stratosphere. And these are an anomaly itself. And let me just prove it. Let me go back to 2018 at this time of the year. This is what it should look like. You should have your polar vortex winds down here in the southern hemisphere. And you know, you could have your little flare-ups here or there, but this is a normal polar region wind. But when we go back to now, you can see this has been going on for months. This is why our jet stream was going straight across Canada, and there was never hardly any troughs or ridges to move the weather, because they were flooding the Midwest out. They were taking the atmospheric river, bringing it right up to the Midwest, and it still continues to go there today. But anyway, what I want to do, I'm going to take you down here to the surface winds. And right now, this is supposed to be a Category 4 hurricane. So I'm going to zoom in here as far as I can. I'll click on the red. The highest wind speed, 63 miles an hour, 54 miles an hour, 51 miles an hour, 61 miles an hour. Okay? Now the mainstream media right now is saying it's up to, 125 miles an hour. Let's go take a look at the data. Let's go take a look at what the hurricane hunters, dropping the dropsons down on this. Let's look at their data. So when you take a look at the data, you can see they got some winds up here at 110 to 125 miles an hour. You got the flight level winds here. You got the temperatures, the aircraft pressure and altitude. Let's go on down here. Let's check this chart right here. So they're saying there's 125 mile an hour winds. Now I just showed you right here, our highest wind speed sustained is 62 miles an hour. And if you come here and look at the actual speeds at the different levels, 1,000 millibars, these are more of the surface winds. So you're looking at, I'm trying to see, okay, 1,000 millibars, height 64 meters. So that's 52 knots. So the 52 knots, let me see what this is here. 52 knots is 59 miles an hour at the surface. We're getting, between 59 and 62 miles an hour. So why are they calling this a Category 4? We can go all the way up. Where are these 100 mile an hour winds? I have the altitudes right here, and I'm showing you that the wind speeds, are 52 knots, 59 knots, 64 knots. They're completely lying about the wind speeds. It's just a big fat lie, man. These are all the tracks into the storm, dropping their little sensors. And just like we wanted to look at the buoys, I forgot to bring up the data buoys. Let's see if we can bring that up tonight. Let's go to the data buoy center here and see what we got going. Let's get the real wave heights. All right, so there's our hurricane right there. All right, so we got this one. We'll check this one. It's, pretty far away. Let's just see what's going on here. See what kind of information we can pull out of this. Some kind of factual information. It's not giving me the graph I want. All right, so here we go. 13 knots wind speed. Atmospheric pressure 29.97. Wind speed 16 knots. Okay, so that's, let me go on back here to the map. Let's try, this will probably be the closest one we can get here by the Bahamas, or maybe the one it already passed. Yesterday these were all turned off, so we can check this one today. You know, it's funny how they turn the buoys off right where we need them. Wow, and it's freaking out. Okay, here we go. Air temperature 82.4, dew point 77 to 5. The wind speeds 13.6 knots, gusting to 17. Let's go ahead and view the history. What kind of winds come through here? It was in the direct path of this hurricane. So let's see here. Oh, they're not going to give us like the they're only going to give us, let's see if I can get to there. Man, they're not going to give us what we need. All right, well, let's get out of here. We got so much stuff to cover here. So let me get out of here. So the data buoys are showing very low wind speeds. And we'll get into the forecast stuff here in a minute. There's some things I want to show you. Now, they're definitely cloud seeding right here. They got all kinds of cloud seeding. And the crazy thing is they need this storm to go south because all the atmospheric conditions are going to want to push this storm out into the Atlantic. You got this massive cold front coming down from the storm that, you know, just come through Missouri. It's down here in Arkansas right now. I mean, this is a mass cold front. It's like 58 degrees here in Missouri in August, on August 30th. I think the high today was like 64. So this is all a battle between the dust, a battle between the cooling, a battle between the weather weapons. But this thing has been completely fabricated. We also have all the aerosols going up. So they're kind of like, looks like they're in panic mode. They're trying to get this thing to go more south because if it don't go south, it's going to start heading north. And it's going to miss Florida. And they don't want that to happen. They want it to hit Florida. So this is all on them. Now, I'm always talking about the heating, using the NexRad, using the ionospheric heaters. Now, I put this link in the description. This is the atmospheric heating as a research tool. Now, these are experimental techniques, including heating of rain droplets with microwaves between 26 and 35 gigahertz, heating of the atmospheric oxygen with microwave frequencies of about 54 gigahertz, creation of artificial ionization plasma patterns in the atmosphere, which can be heated with microwaves. These plasma zones may interact with electrical phenomena. And, you know, that takes me back. Let me take you down here to the southern hemisphere. And let me put it on the temperatures because we have exactly what they're talking about going on right here. This is the same thing that created the polar vortex, you know, the super cold that was over America this winter. You know, it's pretty funny that they say this is the hottest year on the planet, but yet it's been the coldest. It was the coldest year in July in Texas. Missouri, we never got to triple digits. We had all the freak cold over the winter. You know, everything they say, it's like the exact opposite. So let me get back over to our thing here. And what they're saying, throughout mankind has sought to minimize the impact of unpredictability and severity of the violent storms such as tornadoes. To date, solutions have focused on early warning. We don't need to get into all that. But they talk about the weather modification of storms is also described. Development of space-based solar power as a clean, we don't need to get into that. But this PDF is in here. And, you know, we talk about the upgrades on the NexRads, how they're virtually mini ionospheric heaters. They're omnidirectional now, the ones that have been upgraded, and they're phased array antennas, just like the Hart facility. You know, they can steer lightning, they can steer tornadoes, and they damn sure can steer hurricanes. They can create them. They can put them out. You know, this crap of like putting the fires out and all that crap. Hey, let's go to this guy, David Miles. He uses satellite or NextRad to do tornado mitigation. He steers the atmospheric rivers to put fires out, to make it rain. Right here, just August 14th. Introduction for the rainfall offering to region suffering drought. I mean, I've been following this guy for a long time. I watched him put the fires out in Tasmania. And he even talks about, we talk about the bunker fuel, the ship pollution, the ship chemtrails. See, he does it with electromagnetic. So he calls them out when they're doing nefarious stuff with the chemtrails and the bunker fuel. But yeah, I mean, you can take a look at all his research. All you gotta do is type milesresearch.com. I mean, his website's right here. Here, let's just click it, and I'll tell you the link. It may be in the description. I can't remember if I put this in here. Yeah, he offers any kind of weather for $100 million. He can end a drought. He can put out the fires. You know, and it's just not this company. I've showed all the companies over in the Middle East. You know, you got several companies over there out of the United Arab Emirates, over there in Iran. China, Russia are doing the same things. And here is one of the most powerful Doppler radars. This is the most powerful weather station, and it's in Florida. Do you think they're going to let this one get hit? No freaking way. Here's a little bit of footage of them putting this thing up. I mean, this thing is up in the air too, like it's way up there. The golf ball. This one don't even look like a golf ball. But see, this is just like a huge microwave dish right here. This is a death tower. This is a microwave on a stick. And it's in Florida. All right, I'm just trying to get out of some of these things here. And I did a couple searches here. You can get the atmospheric heating as a research tool. You got the 22nd conference on atmospheric and oceanic fluid dynamics. This was June 28, 2019. I mean, there's just tons of information here that you could go through. And then I got one more link I put in the description. Now, this is the military satellites. Now, if somebody has time, you could come over to this site and you could track them. And where we had this anomaly, you could find out which satellite was over there. I just don't have time to do it. But these are all the military satellites that are flying around up there. Some of them are capable, and they're more powerful than the ground-based radars. You know, it's almost like having a little magnifying glass up there. You know how you try to burn a leaf when you're a kid with a magnifying glass? That's what these things can do. Besides shooting the microwaves down and all that stuff. So far, you know, the mainstream and talking about the winds, we've already showed the winds are not what they say at the surface. They're making it sound like these 115 mile an hour winds are, you know, at the surface. Like, I mean, we're looking at it right here. We're on now. Let's go up in elevation, and I'm going to tell you right now to find the 100 mile an hour winds. Here's 83 mile an hour winds. We're 850 up in the air, and that is around 1,500 meters up, or around 47,000 feet up, 4,700 feet up. Hey, thanks out there for Scully. Let's go up to 700. Here we go, some 81s, some 71s. Let's go up to the vortice layer. 78, 78, 72. Let's go to the jet stream. Yeah, it's going to die out because now we're too high up there. So the winds that they're reporting on are roughly up here around 4,000, 4,700 feet up. So they're completely lying about the ground level winds. So while we got it here, let's go ahead and just take this up a day. And like I said, man, it's a battle between the cold air. They're trying to get this thing down south. They want this thing to go down south so they can run it up. We can see at this level of the winds, you know, they're all running straight south, but they need this to go south for some reason. The target is farther south of Florida, but it's a race against this. And I forgot to put the Sahara dust. I need to get that up and going. Let me see if I can find it here. Give me a second here. I mean, we're gonna check everything. So give me just a second. There it is. I got the link right here. Now, even the mainstream, they pretty much mimicked everything I said in my 16-day forecast Sunday. And they, you know, they like confirmed everything I said Monday. And then by Tuesday, all this other crazy stuff. So here's what we're dealing with. We got this dust. And what's going to be really crazy is, you know, we've already had the wave of dust before this. Now we got this monstrous, massive wave of dust that's fighting against all this, you know, so-called hurricane. I can't even call it a hurricane because it was completely fabricated out of thin air in atmospheric conditions that weren't conducive of a hurricane being created. So we got, you know, this thing's going to be like a sand-nado, like a tornado made of sand. But all right, let's go ahead and put this back on the surface. We'll see where this thing's going to track out. We'll go up a day at a time. I mean, we can check all the other models. See, they really don't want it to go over that island. It should weaken it. So even right here on the first, we're looking at 84 mile an hour surface winds, 78, 78. So right here, we're just barely, well, it takes 70. Yeah, are we above 75? 84. Okay, so this is a category 1. Let's take it up another day. So right here off the shore, we're looking at 101 mile an hour winds, 104. So it's definitely going to pick up right before it hits the shore. I mean, this is a weather weapon, man. It's like, see how it jumped up to the north? I don't think they want it to do that. I think they want it to get over here into the Gulf of Mexico. But we'll look at the tracks. But like I said, they don't even know where this thing is going because it's not a natural storm. Let me go up one more day. So let's just see what this thing is doing. As far as I can get. So it's definitely going to be a category 1 to 2 when it hits. I don't see it being a category 4 or a category 5 or whatever they're saying. Not at the surface winds. And you're fighting against the Sahara dust. And you're fighting against the temperatures. Let's check the temperatures. And let me get, that's the surface. Let's go ahead and get up. You know, let's just go right here. Now let me loop this forward. So you got this way colder air coming in here. So yeah, they're going to try to push that cold air up. It's almost like they stopped. Let me check the jet stream. Something looks very odd right here. Why is the color? Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, I wanted it on temperature. Sorry there. All right, so let me, it just looks weird to me for some reason. Let me fast forward this. So there we go. So we got this huge mass of the cold air trying to come down. See, this cold air is going to come up and wrap around. it's like they're gonna try to park this thing down here. You also have wind spinning the wrong way again. So we have winds going the wrong way for this part of the hemisphere. Take it up another day. Look at the temperature difference. So right there you got let me get this on Fahrenheit. See, that shows cooling. It shouldn't be cooling in the center. It should be heating. All right, so see, you're going to have wind shear coming in from the jet stream, which, you know, looking at that, that could make it spin a little faster, but it's going to be partly over land. You know, this is going to be pretty interesting. I think the meteorologists are freaking out on this thing. I'm pretty much freaking out on it because it defies all logic. You know, it's so small, too. This is a super small. It's like 100 nautical miles. That is a small hurricane, but they're calling it a monster. Now, the wind fields are big, but as far as the hurricane itself, it's actually pretty small. All right, let's go ahead and check the precipitation amount. Right there, we're looking at... what about them numbers? 3.33. You can't make that up. Let's take it up another day, as far as I can go. So definitely by tomorrow, maybe tomorrow morning, we're going to get a lot better bead, hopefully, on where this thing is going. So no matter what, in the 16-day forecast 2 weeks ago, Florida was the target. They were the target of the flooding. You know, whether it was regular storms or steering the atmospheric river here, but now it just seems like they must not have been getting enough rain from the other manufactured weather, so they're bringing in the big gun. Let's go ahead and check the energy. That's very interesting. Now, when you're looking at the surface cape, the energy, it's like there's no energy here. Let me back this up. What's going on with that? So it does kind of got a little bit to feed on right now, but it's going to get blowed out by the colder air. I mean, look at the energy up here, man. That's some energy. So yeah, pretty strange. That is definitely strange. Go back just here a day or two. I'm sorry, I don't have where I can see anything going on in the chat here. I'll bring that back up so I can see what's going on with everybody. Thanks everybody out there for joining us. Nice crowd out there tonight. Much love out there. Now here's the dust that we've been battling for weeks and weeks. I'm just going to try to back this up. See, we're going to get this back before it formed, because this is one of the reasons why this thing shouldn't have developed. So we have Dorian. The beginning of Dorian was right here. This is all the dust, the Sahara dust. And as we go up, this thing, you know, tried to turn into a hurricane, but it just got too overran by the dust. And then just like out of nowhere, everything heats up, just like that little thing I showed you at the beginning, just like this. This is a weapon. This was like a targeting. This was like a practice run. And then once they got it dialed in, they just aimed it over here. They're aiming it at the storm right now. That's what's creating this. So let's go ahead and take a look at the models just here on the tropical tidbits, and we'll get into a little bit of the radar. Hey, Radical Ralph, I know I started a little early on you guys tonight. All right, so let's take a look at the GFS model here. Hey, thanks out there, Wake Up. Thanks everybody out there in Super Chat, everybody that helps us there on the PayPal and all that stuff. And all the people that share. I mean, that's really important, getting it shared out. So much love to everybody that shares this stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at the GFS model, see where it's going. 975 pressure. See, they really want this thing to go south. They want it to go south, but there it goes. It does kind of drop south a little bit. Then it's going to go right on up the coast. See, they were saying yesterday that it was going to go across Florida and then back up and around. Hey, thanks out there, Dan. Looks like we got another little system forming. So yeah, that looks pretty powerful right there. This is going to be like the rain bomb of all rain bombs. Look at that. Look at all the rain on the coast. So, you know, according to this model, that's pretty big time rain event, a rain and a wind event. And at the same time, we're going to have another hurricane going on over here, but it's going to get blown away by the dust too. You know, of all the 16-day forecasts, this has been the only storm that has formed out of nowhere. I mean, we've been dead on for months on every single storm, but this one was created out of thin air. Let's check the Canadian model, see where it has it going. Let's go ahead and fast forward this one. So this one's, you know, pretty well headed south. So the tracks are starting to line up. This one starts shooting up a little quicker, and it's showing the rain off the coast. You know, this one's got all the heavy rain out off the coast, not really over land. Now this would be a good scenario. It's because it's battling the cold air coming down. This is showing. Now right there it starts getting, you know, almost midway over South Carolina, going up into North Carolina. I know we have a lot of viewers out there, so I mean, everybody needs to be head up for mega flooding. That's what this is all about. It's about the mega flooding. So let's go ahead and check. Let me get back on the GFS. Let's check the target zones and the total amount of precipitation. So here we go. We're looking. Let me go ahead and back this up. Let's just let this load up. Now this thing's been pretty accurate on the total amounts of rain. Like, we got hit with the rain bomb big time in Missouri. So here we go. We're following the moisture that's being steered right on into Florida. Give it a second to load here. All right, so let's just keep on going here. Look at that going. This is showing most of the moisture off the coast also. This is the GFS model. Until it gets to South Carolina, parts of Georgia. So I'm going to take this all the way up to 16 days worth of rain. You know what the mainstream media say? Be prepared for days and days of rain. And we'll check the amounts. So here we go. Here's the target zones. So right there on the coast is where the flooding is going to be. Here's where the super heavy rain is. Looks like we're around 2 feet of rain. You know, we've had 2 feet of rain here in Missouri this week, pretty much, if you count the last 3 rain bombs in a row. We got 8 inches of rain in 30 minutes just a few days ago. 8 inches of rain in 30 minutes. So, yeah, that little hurricane system over there is not going to do that. But, yeah, here's your total rainfall amounts. It's showing it right on the coast. You know, plus you got the full moon. The tides will be a little higher. That's one thing I forgot to check is the wave heights. Let's go ahead and check them. Why I'm thinking about it. Let's get this thing on up. We're going to get this zoomed in here where we can see it really good. Let's get it right here up where it's supposed to make landfall. We're looking at 32-foot waves, 33-foot waves. The 33 keeps coming in here. 30.3, 31.6, so 32 feet. So not like huge, but pretty big. And then if you got the high tide, you know, it could be around a 40-foot wave event. I mean, we got higher waves out here from nothing. We got almost 40-foot waves out here. So it's like really hard, man, to distinguish what's really going on. You know, right here, this is showing it not going over Florida, over the midsection. I mean, you're looking at, you know, 6 to 10 inches of rain. You know, it's like I said, man, this is like the hardest one to try to figure out because it shouldn't be here in the first place. It shouldn't be here at all. Completely fabricated. Let's go ahead and jump into the worldview for a minute. Wow, I don't have it all loaded yet. Let's give this thing a second to load. I want to thank everybody out here on joining us here on YouTube, all the people joining us over on DLive, the DLive family over there. How about Twitch? You guys are in here. And also Facebook Live and the Above Ground World Nude Facebook is live. So welcome in, everybody. You know, they finally have an eye wall. You know, we're starting to get a noticeable eye wall. Man, this storm should be huge, but it's not. But you could definitely see the aerosols that are being deployed all around this thing now. Trying to get it to a good layer that I can so you got segmented spraying going on all up in front of it. Spraying over here in the islands, the Bahamas. They're still spraying over here. See, this is where they wanted to go. They want where my mouse is. This is the track. We follow every single storm where the aerosols are being deployed. That's the guidance system. Like we could forecast any storm by the chemtrails. We have a huge new operation right here over Virginia, Delaware. It's already fanning out, and you can see this man-made storm up here. It was total bombardment of the skies. Like we had like a smoke curtain being dropped up here. And when we get into the real-time satellite feeds, you're going to see them in action. In fact, I think we will go there right now. How about the bunker fuel? Is the bunker fuel ships out here? Was check. They're always out before every major event. I'm talking fires. I'm talking hurricanes. So we'll give this thing a second to load. What do we got? A hole punch cloud right there. They're shooting up some rockets. So it looks like these ship tracks are gone right here off the Oregon coast, and they're way out here. They're way out here by Hawaii, and there's not a whole lot of them out here like there normally is. So they must have did everything they needed to do, but we still have massive spraying operation over British Columbia and up into Alaska. We got new fires that are starting up, tons of chemtrails, tons of accelerants. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump into the radar for a little bit. I think we're done with that. We're done with that. I'll leave that up in case I need it. We'll leave this up in case we need that. All right, so let's go ahead and turn on the layer that's going to show us the man-made clouds, the cirrus clouds. If you didn't know, cirrus clouds they're made from the plane trails. They're the chemtrails. They're the so-called water vapor. But you're going to find out, like you could call these condensation trails. You can call them water vapor if you want. But there's a problem with them. They're creating clouds, and then they're turning them into weather systems. If you didn't have the planes up here, we wouldn't even have most of these clouds. Cirrus clouds are man-made plane clouds or ship. You know, they got the bunker fuel. It's just nasty stuff. Yesterday we had the mega spraying operation over Washington, Oregon. It's just going to take this a little while to load here. Thanks everybody out there in the super chat. Thank Carrie G. Much love out there. And thanks everybody that got our channel shared out, man. There for almost a whole month, YouTube was deleting so many subscribers. They wouldn't let me get past 52,000. I mean, I was. And then come July 20th, they took away a couple hundred. We'd work our way back up. They'd take them back away. We'd work our way back up. And finally, we just reached the threshold. The viewers were more powerful than the AI. So we're starting to make progress again. So you can see this thing is completely, you could see it got interfered with, man. The eye almost turned into a square. I mean, I'll zoom in on this stuff here in a little bit. I'm just trying to kind of go over the whole map. Look at that spraying operation right there. You know what they're doing here? They're trying to stop the cold front from going down. That was blatant. Let me just watch this track through one more time here. Yeah, they look at that. That's blatant. We can also see the aerosols being deployed. Look at the aerosols out here. And I'll slow this down so you can see. So they started an aerosol campaign out here. And I think what this campaign right here is trying to do is pull this system over, up and out, to trap this system down. I mean, look at that. That's blatant right there. I'll try to zoom in on those, see if I can. They're not going to give me a radar out there. Wouldn't you know it? I don't think this one's going to pick it up. So let's just give this a second to load here. Yeah, we're just going to barely catch it down there. But look at that. They dropped out the little orbs. You can see all the heavy aerosols being deployed. Huge aerosols over here. Hey, thanks there. Wake up. I mean, wow, look at that. That's insane weather modification right there. This is all fake synthetic clouds. You can tell by the colors, so they dropped out. I've seen this before where they drop out real small little loads. Look at that, all in a little line, like a segmented spray, but going the other way. And look at it grow. You know, water vapor grows into a giant cirrus cloud, which turns into a giant system. And you could also see the targeted spray there in the Atlantic. Look at all them X's over there. Super thick. And you can see them all around this storm in the Midwest. Let's go down. We'll see if we can catch some of the aerosols going into the so-called hurricane. I don't even want to call it a hurricane. I don't know what to call it. It's a weather weapon. All right, so you can see they're spraying right there in the front side. Tons of aerosols down here in the Keys, Key West there. All the aerosols right here staying right out in front of it. You can see the lines, X's. Wow, man, same kind of technique that they used up north that made that big line. Look, it's the same signatures. Same thing. And if you notice, man, these storms are getting bigger at night, which is totally ridiculous. You got tons of aerosols. This is where they want it to go. See, they're trying to pull it around and down. They want it to hit southern Florida. That's their target. And all these pre-chemtrails out here are making other storms fire up. And I just wanted to look up here to see if we can catch this operation going on up here. I mean, we got to document some of these bigger spraying operations. Wow, what's wrong with it? It's like cut off. I don't think that's going to get it right there. There's something like wrong with that. Maybe I need to get a little bigger. Try this one. I don't know if that's going to get me up far enough. Hey, man, this kind of work has to be done, man. Somebody has to document this, and that's what, you know, I did this. I started this about 5-6 years ago, and I actually started because I was doing astrophotography, and I'm looking up, and I'm supposed to have a clear sky, and here comes a fleet of planes, and it just wiped the sky out. I'm like, what the hell is that? And that got me going down the rabbit hole. Look at this. H. There's a H being sprayed over North California. And then a bunch of them right there. Look at that. That's some targeted sprays. That must be the fire zone. Look, more sprayings going on in Oregon. We didn't see these in the worldview map, but we can definitely see they're spraying this system. But they can't hide it on this because it's, you know, covering the whole thing here. Let's take a look at that a little closer. This is right by the military radars that we catch the sending and receiving of the microwave frequencies. Might take this a second to load. Yeah, really nice crowd out there, guys. Thanks for joining us here on a Friday night. And believe me, I'm going to get up early in the morning, and I'm going to start looking at this, and I'll try to pinpoint where it's really going to hit, if it's going to hit. And yeah, I mean, you got to prepare for flooding. You're already flooded. I mean, they've been flooding Florida out for a couple weeks now. Like I said, that was in the 16-day forecast 2 weeks ago, all this flooding. So yeah, they just got a mad, crazy little spraying operation right here. Let's go up in here for a second. Oh yeah, we really need to check the radars real quick just to see if we have any kind of stuff going on. I just wanted to look up here. Look at that. That is just insane right there. That is one hell of a spray job. It was a two-part mix. So they deployed, you know, a big old thick line, and then they did the segmented spraying behind it. That's like a new technique. But look what it created. I mean, this is all synthetic cloud cover. They must not want this moisture to get down here to North Carolina or something. Like, that's the line. That's the line they don't want it to go past. All right, let me take off this enhancement. Let's go ahead and check the composite radars. You know, main thing, you're going to have to prepare like it is, you know, a category 4 or whatever. Because I'm telling you right now, the mainstream, even though they're lying about the wind speeds, you know, we confirm they're lying by the data buoys, by the actual hurricane tracker plane. We know that they're giving you the wind speeds at like 5,000 feet up. Wow, this is only showing. Oh, I need the whole continental here. Uh-oh, it's like freaking out. I may have to reload this. There it goes, I think. Man, they might be messing with my computer. Maybe they got something they don't want me to see here. I'm going to have to completely reload this. It's not going. Well, while I'm waiting on that to load again, let me just check this. And we want to go ahead and check the mimic map. Wow, did the hold on, this thing is like, the stream's looking good. It's in the green. Let's see if I can get over to the composite radar. All right, we finally made it there. Here, I'm just going to loop the first 24. Yeah, we're going to need a little more than that. So this is where we're going to be able to, let me put it on 200 frames. We'll check for the watches and warnings. And I will get that going right now. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit of this stuff, a little bit of time to load. And if you missed last night's show, I tried to upload that over to the Brighton site, and it got stuck halfway through. So I'm going to re-upload last night's show because that showed a lot of damning evidence. And then I'll upload this to the Brighton site, which is down in the description somewhere. And that will be in full HD. No audio will be missing. And all that. So if you want to see a clear picture of this stuff in HD, you'll have to go watch the full version over there. By morning, it should be uploaded and up. So what I want to do is dang it. What I want to do is zoom in. I want to zoom in on this just to see if we're getting any kind of anomalies on this where we can see them, you know, superheating it, which you can in the water vapors. You can always see what's going on in the water vapor mass. We're just trying to keep this pretty basic. I mean, this is going to give us a good idea of what's going on. You know, like I said last night, this atmospheric river, this is the river up in the sky. This is the river up in the troposphere. This is what they're controlling, and they have been since at least 94. So we got, like, this thing just takes off, even though this is the hurricane here. But yeah, this atmospheric river's been disturbed right here because it should be a nice constant flow here. Then you should have the waves circling around counterclockwise. Whatever this is right here, whatever happened with this, that's what's got them winds spitting backwards. You can see they're pulling the atmospheric river up through Texas on up into Missouri. Here comes that cold front. You can see this cold front coming in. Like, cold air is much heavier than warm air. It should push this back out to sea, but, you know, it's probably not going to happen. So look at that. So it died out. Look, it looked like a hurricane, and then it died out. So the last frame here, it's showing it kind of died out. So that's pretty crazy. Let me just check. Everything's severe thunderstorm warnings. It did have a tornado warning in St. Louis, Missouri around 4:37 Central Time. Flash flood for St. Louis. Yeah, so nothing but flooding really going on right now. So not seeing any kind of rain yet coming off the storm. I mean, this is more just a crazy storm up here. Anyway, I'm looking for any kind of anomalies here. Alright, yeah, this is not going to give us a whole lot tonight. I mean, this is one wicked little storm right there. Alright, so hopefully by tomorrow morning, we're going to start seeing the rain bands coming in. Let's go ahead and check a little bit of water vapor tonight. Alright guys, so I will try. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do one. Wow, look, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's like an outflow blast wave off this storm that come through Missouri. Look, you can see it in the little darker right there. Wow, that's like a blast wave. That is insane. Look at that. It blasts the wave all the way up into the Dakotas. What the hell is going on there? Alright, that's definitely some crazy crap. I'm glad I looked at this. Wonder if we can get it in the mid-level. Yeah, if you want to know who's steering the hurricanes, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's the U.S. Department of Agriculture. You know, it's NASA. It's Raytheon. Wow, you can even see the blast wave in the mid-levels. Look at that. It just shoots. It's like a perfect half circle shooting back up towards the north. That's pretty crazy. Let's check the lower level. Yeah, for sure, man. Oh, wow. You can see the blast wave even on the lower levels. So that's at all levels. Look at that. All right, man. That's just insane. We got some insane weather anomalies going on. That's why I say, man, the weathermen, they don't even know what the hell's going on. I mean, they change their story overnight. That's what gets me, you know. They talked about how there was going to be no hurricanes, there wasn't going to be no tropical development, and then they just delete every one of them videos, and then by morning, you know, they're talking about this category 3, 4, 5. Like, they got the note from Raytheon, they got the note from the National Weather Service. Hey, this is what we're going to do. Alright guys, well I think I'm going to go ahead and call this a show. I want to thank everybody out here to join us. I'll try to pop on here if I can really early in the morning just to check on this stuff. Try to keep everybody informed the best I can. And we'll be watching the winds, we'll be watching the rain amounts, and we'll be watching the path. Anyway guys, much love. We're going to play a song called Rise, because we all need to rise, man. This weather warfare, it's the new world order, and believe me, they're going to be using this, you know, to push the climate change and the global warming when we know it's all climate control. And then we're going to play a song, our fight song, then we'll play our victory song. I'll come join you guys in chat. I'll go over to D Live and give away the treasure chest. Anyway guys, much love, God bless, no fear, eyes to the skies, man. We were told to look up in these kind of times. Yeah, it should have prevented the hurricanes, but it didn't. I guess that's what you are not understanding, is there should not be any kind of tropical development. Even the mainstream said that. So you can keep blabbing that stuff, There should be a hurricane. That's my whole point. There should not be one, man. This is completely manufactured. I don't know what else I can show you to get you to understand. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Turn it up.